Breaking news out of Lower Manhattan. Ousted Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro pleading not guilty to drugs and weapons charges inside a U.S. federal court. Maduro telling the judge, quote, "I am innocent," saying he was kidnapped, referring to himself multiple times as the president of Venezuela. His wife, Cilia Flores, was beside him, also entering a not guilty plea.
And we've been watching live pictures as Maduro makes his way back to the Brooklyn Detention Center, where he and his wife are being held. CNN's Omar Jimenez and Laura Coates joining us now from live outside the court. You were both in the courtroom. So, Laura, walk us through, first of all, what you saw, what you heard in those moments.
What an extraordinary moment. Nicolas Maduro appearing in a Manhattan courtroom with his wife, proclaiming to still be the president of Venezuela, and she the first lady. They had on headsets to have translation available to them. They spoke in Spanish, and at the first available opportunity for Nicolas Maduro to address the court, essentially to say his name, he said instead he was a prisoner of war, that he was in fact Nicolas Maduro Muro, that he'd been taken from his home, captured from his home, the judge interrupting him to say that there'll be time to talk about the legality of his taking, as well as any motions he wanted to raise. But for now, I just want to know if you, in fact, are Nicolas Maduro Muro. He said that he was, and also that he was innocent and had not committed any of these crimes. He was almost stoic, Omar, as you saw him in there. He was very, very confident and self-assured. He had some difficulty sitting down in his chair, having to brace himself continuously when he would try to sit down. You note when he was walking on that, it really was kind of a perp walk to the helipad, his left leg appeared to be straighter than the other, and he was moving with difficulty. That appeared to be present as he tried to sit in the chair. His wife, meanwhile, they said that she had obvious visible injuries. They addressed, you could see her, bandages, some kind of a gash or stitching on her eye, also on her temple, and also they referenced that she had some sort of fractured or bruised ribs as well. Her demeanor, much less confident than her husband's, far more demure, spoke after they did, and they exchanged glances at different points in time. He had one request. He did not want to have bail discussed right now. That's coming. But he did want to have his notes. He took copious notes, Omar. You were watching intently as well. When you were watching this take place, weren't you struck by the way this all proceeded?
Yeah, I mean, just the confidence of Maduro, as you mentioned, when truly you pay attention to any trials like this, you know, the judge asks you plead guilty or not guilty, and usually the attorney even just speaks for the defendant and just says not guilty. That was the opportunity that Maduro used to go out and say that I am the constitutional president of Venezuela, that he believes his rights have been violated, talking about the abduction aspect, saying he was kidnapped from his home in Caracas, and launched into that in Spanish as the interpreter kept up with that as well. When his wife began to speak, you know, you sort of mentioned the dynamic between both of them. There was a moment where the judge asked if they understood the interpretation, and he sort of spoke for both of them and said, yes, we understand. And then she, of course, spoke in after that as well. You mentioned the medical issues. That was something that the defense asked of the judge to make sure that they had proper care to take care of some of those issues, because clearly she seemed to be struggling in some way, whether it was swaying a little bit, as was relayed by one of our team members, dipping her head at different points, and then, of course, as you mentioned, Maduro appearing to struggle to stand up and sit down at points.
And there was a moment they asked for the consular.
Yeah, there was a moment they were asked for essentially what is afforded typically to either heads of state or folks that are coming in from other countries, that they have the ability to consult with the Venezuelan consular in this case, and they said that that is something they are going to pick up and intend to use prior to this next March 17th date that was set, because there's so much discovery to go through.